Hi everybody, I'm just coming to you really quickly. It's my second attempt to film this. Coming to you really quickly about my fabric. So the Queen City Stitch Retreats in 5 days. I leave in 4. It's in 6 days. I leave in 5, something like that. I've got 4 days left, less than 4 days now to get everything ready for Oak Crown Studios. I'm currently going through finishing inventorying fabrics. These are my 18 count Aidas. Look how pretty. Going through inventorying everything and labeling things and just finalizing stuff. You might be able to hear family noise in the background, including my husband who's serging fabric for me. Okay, so I've been getting a lot of questions, as in recent days, a lot more questions. And so I just wanted to pop on here and film a quick video and answer some of those. I'm getting a lot of the same questions. And that way everybody will have the answers all in one spot. Okay, so I am bringing a lot of fabric. I'm bringing all of the dyed fabric I have. I am bringing most of what I sell. So I'm bringing 14, 16, 18, and 20 count Aida, 32 and 28 Lugana, and 28, 32, 36, and 40 count linen. I do carry some other things, but not enough for it to be worth me dyeing a lot of it. It just doesn't sell very much, so I'm not going to pre-dye those things. At least I haven't for this year. But my website's going to be open. It's a website. It's going to stay open. So if you see something at the retreat that you love the color of, but you want it a different count or different size, you can order that, and I'll dye it when I get home. Because I also have like 46 count linen, and I can do special counts for people if they want it. I have 30 count linen. Anyway, sorry, distraction. My children. I'm bringing almost entirely fat quarters. That's because I'm not going to be at my booth most of the time. I'm going to have somebody who's running that for me, because I'm also running the retreat. So I'm not going to be cutting fabrics down. You buy the cut that's there or not, and that's that. So I'm bringing almost entirely fat quarters. But again, if you see something you like and you want a bigger cut of it, you just pop on my website and order it. Because I also do fat halves. I can do a full yard if you ask for it. And I also have those, what I call chatelaine cuts, the 27 by 27 inch pieces and the 36 by 36 inch pieces. I'm getting a lot of questions in recent days about if I'm going to have 28 and 32 count fat halves in a color that will be appropriate for a new stitch along that I hear is coming out, that people are very excited about. I do have some fat halves. I have some full yards. I have some of those chatelaine cuts. But most of what I have is fat quarters for the retreat. I know the stitch along starts October 31st. I think, and I can't guarantee it, but that's why I actually buy my husband's serging right now. I'm going to go ahead and dye I'm going to dye a bunch of fat halves. I'm just going to dye a bunch of fat halves. I've got 4 days. I can do it. I'm going to dye a bunch of fat halves, so I'll add to my fat half stash for the 28 and 32 counts in what I would think is an appropriate colorway. So I will have more of those. So, because a lot of people have been asking, so I wanted to fill you in on that. The other thing, so my plan is on my booth, fabrics are going to be divided by count. So there'll be like 14 count Aida, 16 Aida, 18 Aida, 20 Aida, like they'll, be sections. So there's also going to be colors. There will be a lot of colors at the retreat that are not on the website for a number of reasons. One is some of them are going to be upcoming fabrics of the month, and I'm just going to go ahead and sell my test dyes for those. I've dyed large batches of colors, like for the retreat. So I'll have, colors for you guys to buy. The other thing that I have, okay, so here's a fabric. This one's called Mistletoe. It's not showing up great on camera, but in real life, this can have like very red and green kind of, not like It's like hints of red and green kind of tones to it. This one's blush. I love blush. I don't think blush is on the website yet. It's a very soft pink. Anyway, so this is what most of them will look like. And then some of them you will see will have a blue star on them. The blue star fabrics are going to be discounted 20%. And I'll have a price list at the booth so you can see everything. You can also look it up on my website. It's the same price for fabrics. So the blue star means 20%. Generally, so if there's a blue star, it's because there's something wonky with the fabric. Sometimes more wonky, sometimes less wonky. So this one I've marked off 20%. It might not even show up on camera. There's some dye spots. I do sometimes get dye spots on my fabric, and I don't want to send those out with someone's order, but they're still very usable fabrics. Like, I don't need to trash them just because there's a dye spot or two on them. Usually, well, depending on what you're going to stitch on them, right, the dye spot's not a big deal. If there's dye spots right in the middle, I might not want to send that out to somebody who's ordered my fabric. Well, I don't want to send that out to somebody who's ordered my fabric. But if you're going to stitch a Mirabilia, say, and you're going to cover that up, then it doesn't matter, right? Absolutely doesn't matter. Or like sometimes the dye spots are right along the edge, which you're probably not going to be, is not going to be in what you're framing anyway. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys decide. But if there's dye spots, it's discounted 20% when you go to buy things. There's also going to be, I have a lot of one-of-a-kind fabrics. So this is a color that's not like in my normal range. It's a one-of-a-kind, and there's going to be a whole bunch of those. So there's going to be a lot of one-of-a-kinds, a lot of like secret fabrics, upcoming colors, mostly fat quarters, but the website will be open to order anything you want to. Also, one other thing to keep in mind, I do have a bunch of indigo dyed fabrics and maybe some turmeric in here as well. Those naturally dyed fabrics are a little more costly. So just keep that in mind. It'll say that on the price list that I have posted. I also did dye some opalescent just because I feel like more people need opalescent in their lives. Look at how beautiful. Can't you just see a fairy on that? Oh, it's so good. So if it's not one of a kind, all these colors will be on my website. Eventually, I do have, so like this is Castle Wall, which is one of the exclusives for the retreat, for the retreat pattern. I am bringing the exclusives. So I'm bringing Castle Wall and Queen, which were the two you guys saw in advance. I'm bringing extra cuts of those. I'm also bringing the mystery, the mystery fabric exclusive for the retreat. So if you didn't pre-order those, there will be a bunch of those at the retreat that you can choose from. What else? Is that it? So I'm going to be open. I'm going to be manning my booth Thursday evening, I think from like 5 to 8 or something. I'm going to be there selling my fabrics then, hopefully with some helpers. And then somebody else, one of Maggie's friends, is going to be there manning the booth. Did I say that right? I'm going to be manning my booth Thursday evening, like 5 to 8-ish. Maggie's friend is going to be then manning it for me Friday and Saturday. Possibly also with some help from some stitchy helpers of, that are at the retreat. And, I'll obviously be there at the retreat, like if there's problems or questions or whatever. So yeah, I'll be available. I'll just also be running the retreat, so I'm going to be busy. But I'll be there if you have any questions. Again, my website's going to be open the whole time. So if you see something you love, but you really want a full yard of it or a fat half of it or a chatelaine cut or whatever, you just pop on the website and order it, and I'll get right to dyeing it when I get home. I think that's it. I just wanted to explain those things, hopefully answer some questions. And that's it. I'm excited, guys. I can't wait. I'm going to see a bunch of you in a few days. I hope you're excited. If you're not coming, I'm going to miss you. But I'll be back to filming floss tubes later when I get back. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a great stitchy weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye.